Welcome to this episode of Living in Tucson, your Tucson real estate connection. Hot off the press, the numbers are out for the Tucson Housing Market Report for December 2022. Hello, Tyler Ford here, Tucson, Arizona with eXp Realty, and I just want to thank you up front for watching this episode of the Tucson Housing Market Report and all the subscribers out there that watch each and every month. But I'm going to dive on into the numbers and let you know what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. But the market is actually holding strong, and I'm going to cover some key numbers. Inventory levels have actually pulled back a bit, which makes sense for December. Typically, people don't like to list during the holiday season, and then we've got winter visitors coming in on top of that looking to buy. So for buyers out there, inventory levels are holding on. They've actually gone down slightly. So I know there's a lot of people out there wishing for a bigger pullback, especially buyers out there for an opportunity to buy. And there's been a lot of people sitting on the sidelines waiting for interest rates to pull back and home values to pull back. We've seen a slight pullback in interest rates, but not a huge pullback in home prices. So again, I'm going to dive on in to all the numbers and let you know what's going on here in the Tucson housing market. First thing I'm going to start off with is just an interest rate update. I like to let people know where we are as far as interest rates. And as everybody knows, 2022 interest rates dramatically went up. We saw mortgage rates more than double in 2022. The Feds aggressively started raising rates, and it's been the most aggressive rate hikes that we've seen by the Feds to try to curb inflation and slow down the housing market. And they did a good job slowing down the housing market in terms of unit sales. But the one thing that hasn't happened is we haven't seen a huge pullback in home values, which I'm going to cover. So currently right now, rates on a 30-year fixed are sitting at 6.48%, which is down about 0.5% from the highs of 2022. And on a 15-year fixed, you're looking at 5.73%. So let's dive on into the numbers. The numbers I'm going to cover are just a few key indicators that I like to go over. There's a lot more to the report, and at the end, I'm going to show you how to get the detailed report if you want to geek out on the numbers. But the first number I want to cover is what we call percentage of list. And that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, what percentage of the list price are sellers getting? And in a normal, healthy, neutral market, percentage of list is anywhere from 92 to 97%. And for the last couple years, we've seen percentage of list at 100% or higher. And over the last 6 months, we've seen percentage of list pull back and now start to be below 100%. So percentage of list December 2022 for single family homes listed in the MLS was 98%. For townhomes and condos, percentage of list was 97.6%. The next number I want to cover is what we call month supply of inventory. And that is if no other homes were to hit the market today, how long would it take for all the inventory to be sold off in the MLS? And we're beginning to shift into more of a neutral buyers friendly market. Therefore, month supply of inventory has gone up. So month supply of inventory for single family homes listed in the MLS was 2.3 months or 69 days. For townhomes and condos, month supply of inventory is 1.6 months or 48 days. The next number I want to cover is what we call days on market, DOM, and that is when somebody lists a home in the MLS, how long does it take from the time that you list till the time that it goes under contract? Not from the time that you list until the time that it closes. So days on market. And days on market is more than double, but we're more in a neutral buyer-friendly market. We're days on market if your home's priced correctly as a seller, which I'm going to talk about in this video. It's going to be somewhere in this range in terms of being close to the average days on market. So average days on market for single family homes listed in the MLS for December 2022 was 45 days. For townhomes and condos, the average days on market was 39 days. So if your home's priced correctly, you can anticipate for a single family home going under contract within 45 days, and for townhomes and condos, 39 days. By now, you're wondering, what are home values doing here in Tucson, Arizona? So I'm gonna go over our home values, the median home sales price for December 2022. And a couple things to think about. In 2022, all of our appreciation came from January through June. Was our appreciation, and we haven't, the market slightly pulled back since. So again, all the appreciation came within the first 6 months, and then we've been going sideways and a slight pullback since. But we finished the year positive appreciation. For 2023, we'll see what that brings, because if the market still softens, we'll probably see maybe negative appreciation for 2023. So for December 2022, the median home sales price was $374,900, up 7.1%. And again, the 7.1% came in the first 6 months of 2022. For townhomes and condos, the median home sales price was $249,750, up 18.4%. So I know there's a lot of buyers out there hoping for a pullback to bring down home affordability along with interest rates. So again, we'll see what 2023 brings. This next number I'm going to cover is one that I hadn't been covering over the last couple of years. And then I had a lot of people asking, and again, it's changed significantly, so it's worthy of talking about. And that is closed transactions, the number of sales. And the reason I didn't really talk about it, because it didn't really fluctuate. It was always, normal in terms of the transactions that we were having each and every month. And in a normal market in Tucson, there's anywhere from about 1,000 up to 1,500 transactions each and every month, depending on the seasonality. But we've seen volume and transactions drop nearly in half. And there's a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines waiting for home values to come down and interest rates to pull back. And then there's a lot of sellers out there, what I call rate locked, where they're not wanting to do anything, because if they sell, they're subject to the higher rates and higher home prices. So transactionally, this market really has started to slow down. But the one thing that hasn't gone down significantly is home values. So that's kind of the big surprise. Home values are hanging on. So transactionally, for December 2022, there were 665 closed transactions, which is down 49.6%. So last December, transactions were more than double. So we're down nearly 50% from a transaction standpoint, which means there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines and a lot of pent-up demand, in my opinion. For townhomes and condos, we're looking at 126 units for December 2022, which is down 33%. So again, transactionally, this market's kind of at a standstill, where the people that are buying and or selling are the ones that have to, whether it's a divorce, job relocation, having to downsize, upsize, inherited property. I mean, there's a whole lot of reasons as to why somebody would need to sell or buy, and because transactions have gone down significantly. And the other big component to why transactions have gone down significantly too is because there's a lot of investors that were buying that are no longer buying. So for the last couple of years, 25 to 30% of all properties bought were bought by investors that were holding on for long-term rentals. And now with rates going up, cash flow just isn't the same. So now you've got a lot of investors sitting on the sidelines as well. So again, transactionally, volume's down by about 50%. Now I'm going to go over my favorite number, and that is home inventory, supply and demand economics 101. And over the last couple of years, we saw supply go down, demand go up, which drastically increased home values, double-digit appreciation over the last couple of years. But that is now slowly starting to change. And although home inventory levels have more than doubled, in my opinion, there's not enough supply in order to bring down home prices. And I know there's a lot of buyers out there. They keep asking me the question, when are home values going to pull back more? So it brings back home affordability. And I wish I had the answer. I don't have that crystal ball that could predict that. But the one thing that you can do is just keep an eye on home inventory levels. And each and every month I do a live where we dive on into the MLS, and I encourage you to get on that. And I've tracked it over the last couple of years because I knew inventory in this market was starting to shift. And although it shifted, again, in my opinion, it hasn't gone up enough in order to have a significant impact in terms of far more supply than there is demand. So inventory levels for Tucson single family homes, December 2022, there were 2,271 active listings. Year over year, we're up 53.9%. So again, we've more than doubled, but we're more in a neutral, normal, healthy market where it's not enough to have a dramatic impact on a ton of supply to then pull back home prices. So for townhomes and condos, we're at 284 active listings, up 74.2%. So it's definitely more buyer friendly, more properties to look at. But again, it's more neutral. And if you go back and look at median home price and the chart that I put up there, you'll see home values are now just starting to go sideways because we're more at an equilibrium in terms of supply and demand. So again, if you're a buyer out there, pay close attention to home inventory levels in terms of whether or not home values are going to pull back or not. If you're one to want to geek out on the numbers, I would encourage you to take a look at the full report that the Tucson MLS puts out. And how you would get there is if you go to Tucson Homes and Lots. If you scroll down, you're going to see the Tucson Monthly Market Update. And each and every month I do the blog post for the update. I put the video on the most current update. And then if you scroll to the very bottom of the blog post here, you're going to see the Tucson Housing Market Update. If you click on that, that's going to pull up the PDF for the full report. So there's a lot of really good information. I would encourage you to take a look at it and dive on into the numbers if you want to learn more about the Tucson housing market. So that's a wrap on the Tucson Housing Market Report for December 2022. So just to recap a few things, and that is if you're a seller out there, it's more important than ever to look at comps that are 30 days, maybe 60 days at most, just because this market has changed so significantly. But if you're looking at older comps and you're going further back, you're going to have unrealistic expectations in terms of what your home's going to sell for and how long it's going to take. And the detriment to any listing and any seller is pricing your home too high out of the gate. And as a result, you'll end up making less money at the end of the day. So again, really, really important that what's going to net you the most amount of money in the least amount of time is pricing your home correctly. If you're a buyer out there, in my opinion, time is your friend. I do think that there's going to be more opportunities come 2023, and this market will eventually play out this year. Like I said, I don't have that crystal ball, but again, pay attention to home inventory levels, supply and demand. And if you're a buyer out there buying on an FHA or a VA loan, I've been saying this, I would encourage you just to be patient, keep your powder dry, save up more money so you could potentially maybe put down 20% and avoid mortgage insurance. And then at the end of the day, not overpaying for a home. And if this market pulls back, then you're upside down on your home. And at the end of the day, home ownership, if done the wrong way, can be a liability. So I would encourage you, if you're a buyer out there, just be patient. And if you've got any questions, we're more than happy, myself or team, whether you're a buyer or a seller, we're here to help. Thanks for watching my monthly Tucson market update. If you got value out of the video, do me a huge favor, give me an internet high five by liking it. If you've got any questions or comments, go ahead and comment below, and love your opinion in terms of what's going to go on in 2023. So if you got an opinion in terms of the housing market here in Tucson, go ahead and comment below. Love to hear your thoughts. And for more awesome videos about living in Tucson, your Tucson Real Estate Connection, you can subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, and you're notified each and every time an awesome video comes out. In the meantime, make it a great day.